Hi everyone, this is Abrar. Welcome to Abrar channel. Today we are going to see part 12 of Fun Facts Encyclopedia. And we're going to be very interesting, profound details and fine details, and then you'll really enjoy knowing these facts as such. So in this one, we're going to talk about six elements. Just an outside, I just wanted to set the context. Number one, plain English. When that plain English came into an act, that's what we're gonna talk about it and why and all that. And that is a bad typo. So we tend to do a lot of mistakes while typing it and all that. So we're gonna also talk about that. What is the reason? What is the story behind it? And this is just good for a spider phobia. If you are afraid of spider, then there is another information is coming out to you. And then you have that is just a fake water, and they're gonna you may wonder that what is mean of fake water. Just you can get to know this detail also as well. The fifth one, my favorite, is called South Africa and Table Mountain. That's really great piece of information. The last but not the least is, what is the highest mountain known to mankind? The highest mountain, you may name it something, and but some other things are coming up in this one. Let me have a go to the first one. The first is called plain English. It is used to be the case that official document, right, had a tendency to be written in English that simply didn't make any sense. It got so bad that in 2010 there was a new law passed that meant things had to be written in plain English. If you meant something, if you wanted to bring a law, bring an act, that has to be written in clear plain English, so that pretty much anybody could understand it and what they have said it. The Plain Writing Act was intended to stop all the confusion, all the unambiguous statement or the confusion terms that tended to surround federal legislation. It was believed that it would cut down on the wasted time in dealing with the requests from the public that were a direct result of them simply not understanding anything. So that was great piece of information, right? Isn't it? So let's go to the another one. That is a bad typo, right? That is, every book has a potential to contain a typo at some point of time. Even when we write, when we type, sometime what happens, we subconsciously make a mistake, and sometime when we do not review them, it get passed. For example, when you're composing an email, you're just typing some words, and it had got some typo error, and you didn't mean it, but if we lose reviewing it, if you not reviewed it, it gets sent it, right? So exactly, in some, generally speaking, they are not seen as being offensive in any way whatsoever, right? We didn't make it very typo and wanted to use that word. Sometime in typing that happens, right? Sadly, that is not always the case, especially when you discover what happened to a publisher in Australia. The book in question was a cookbook. It was a cookbook, yeah. There was a rather unfortunate mistake that did mean that they had no option but to recall every single book, then republish it. So you can imagine there was simple typo error, and the publisher, who was from the Australia, had to recall every single copy of the book. Then you may wonder, what is that mistake? Let's find it out. Well, in the book, there was a part of a recipe that required the individual to get some freshly ground black pepper, which does sound as if it is a perfectly plausible request, right? However, the problem was that the book actually said freshly ground black people instead of pepper. It got typo error and it says people, which is something completely different from the context, and you can see why they had no option but to take the book off the market. Yeah, that is. We have to be, one of the lesson learned in this one is we have to be extremely careful while typing it. And once even if you are fluent in typing, that is a good thing. But only thing is, please make sure that, ensure that you are always, checking it, reviewing it at least once. Let's go to third one. Okay, this is not good for a spider phobia. If you hate spider and have a phobia surrounding them, phobia means fear, right? And then you might want to look away now. Studies have shown that if you venture out into a green areas, that it is believed that every acre of land, there are somewhere in the region of 50,000, 50K spiders. However, even though that does sound like a lot, it is important to remember that the absolute vast majority of them are extremely small. Okay, the reason why there are so many is simply because their sheer number of insects that are constantly flying around these green areas, and so they are undoubtedly going to attract spider since they feed them off, right? Of course, this is only a rough estimate, as people have not exactly spent time counting and tagging every single spider to make sure that they have not double counted or doubly counted them. But even if the true number is half of that, still it is a pretty high number. So we got also the reason why there's the spider around, we have more spider, right? Okay, let's go to the fourth one. That is just a fake water. When you see your favorite celebrities drinking your favorite drink from a can, there is absolutely no guarantee that everything is quite as it seems. Apparently, it is known that a number of these companies have a tendency to go ahead produce cans that just contain water, as they know that the celebrity do not believe in drinking energy drinks due to their health routines, right? They can there are then green given these cans of water so that they can able to parade around and give publicity to the company. Clearly, this is cheating, but it is far more widespread that you would perhaps like to imagine. Of course, they would also turn around and say how amazing the drink was, and and what they love about it. They are meeting their obligation, what they have a contractual agreement with the organization or a company. But it is not always the case that they are completely upfront and honest about it all. Fifth one, whatever, I mean, South Africa and Table Mountain, very profound detail. Whatever you preconceived notions about South Africa, some of them are well known facts, are South Africa is often a dangerous place to live and all that. Not all this true, right? No, loads of newspaper articles will point out how chancy it is. However, despite the danger, Cape Town has been voted one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Holidaymaker flock there all years and round to enjoy the great weather and even better food. More detail are coming up now. It is interesting to note that among these weird facts, South Africa, being the third world world country, has been rated as having the best drinking water in the world. Well, that is the second and third on some fact list. Not only does it rate as it best tasting water, but also the safest to drink. It is referred to the country as South Africa, right? You would actually be wrong, probably. The correct name for this beautiful country is the Republic of South Africa, or shortly known as RSA. Another interesting piece of information. One of the oldest mountain in the world is found here. Can you guess which mountain we are talking about? If you guess the Table Mountain in Cape Town, you would be right. Often a soft formation of cloud sits atop Table Mountain, which locals call the table cloth. The last and final one. What is the highest mountain known to mankind? What do you think that is the highest mountain known to mankind? To be fair, most people would jump for Mount Everest, right? You're right. But if you just did that, you would be wrong. Why? Because instead, the highest mountain that we know of is not even on this Earth planet. Instead, we need to take the context from outside. From Earth, Mount Everest. We will talk about other planets. Yeah, we need to take a trip to Mars. Yeah, in order to find what we are talking about. Because of the planet, we have something known as the Olympus Mons. Right? You might have heard this one. The Olympus Mons has been measured by scientists to be staggering 15 miles height, which is approximately 25 kilometer high. And that means it is three times height of Mount Everest. In other words, Everest is nothing than a mole hills to the huge mountain that's called Olympus Mons, right? So I just wanted to give a credits to this book, Fun English the Fun Knowledge Encyclopedia, Volume 3, and by Below Niels. Wonderful book. I'm glad to read Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and this is coming to you. Please have this book. Wonderful book. It covers the details, micro level detail in a normal plain English, right? That's what we talked about in and point number one, right? So wonderful book. And if you wanted to have a catch up, you can have a catch up. Both online version is good, soft copy is good, even the hard copy also good. I have both of them. So thank you very much, and you have wonderful day ahead. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. You have a nice day ahead.